What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a new Digimon to talk about. I told you that the Set 4 reveals would be starting quite soon. I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect them to start this soon. But we have had an official reveal from the official Twitter channel, and here's where it gets a little bit weird. Because you see, this is not just a brand new Digimon card. This is a brand new Digimon. This is a Digimon that before yesterday had never been seen by the public. Now, essentially, what happened was that there was a new episode of a Digimon anime that aired in Japan yesterday. And in that episode, a Digimon evolved into Dandevimon or Dundevimon, according to Wikimon.net. Those are the names we should be using in both Japan and English. Dandevimon for Japan, Dundevimon in English. Cool! It is Neo Devimon, I should say, that did evolve into it. And there is something ridiculously awesome about a new Digimon making its debut in the anime, and then immediately, like genuinely within an hour or so, being revealed as a card in the TCG. That makes me absolutely delighted. But is it any good? And the short answer, yes. Yes, it really is. Now, we've got a level 6 purple Digimon here. I know the Devimon line does fit into purple. And we've got a 12 cost to play normally, which is on the slightly higher end for level 6s, but not out of the ordinary. A 4 cost to evolve, which is on the higher end for level 6s, but not out of the ordinary. And 12,000 power, which is on the higher end for level 6s, but not out of the ordinary. Essentially what we've got here is the upper end of level 6s in terms of both costs and the power. Cool. But what does it actually do? Well, stop me if you've heard this one before, but our translation comes from the lovely Jason Snowjacks. On your opponent's turn, limited to once during your turn, when your security is reduced, discard one of your opponent's security. Yeah, that is a fairly ridiculous, just ridiculous thing. Now, it is limited to once during your turn, so if your opponent attacks 4 times with 4 different Digimon, you do not get to discard 4 of their security. You discard 1 of their security, and then it basically runs out and you've got to wait. Here is the really interesting question, and I'll be honest with you here. It is one to which we don't seem to have an answer, though I believe it is implied by the wording or lack thereof. What if you've got multiple Dundevimon out? What if you have got 3 of these out, and your opponent goes and discards 1 of your security? Do you then discard 3 of theirs? And as far as I'm concerned, the answer is yes. Now, if we look at a Digimon like Gooooooooood, the purple Gooooooooood from Ultimate Power, it's got an inheritable skill that once during your turn, if your other Digimon is destroyed, you gain 1 memory. Now, if we're looking at this skill, and you had 3 different Digimon evolved from 3 different Gooooooooood, I think we would all be in agreement here that you would gain 3 memory. Because you've got 3 Gooooooooood, all of their skills activate at the same time, and you would gain 3 memory. And I imagine that this would work the same here. Your security is reduced by however much. You've got 3 Dundevimon on the field. Each of them activates to get rid of 1 of your opponent's security. I don't see a problem with that ruling. Now, if it was only intended that 1 of these could be used, I mean, they've gone to the effort of saying once during your turn, so presumably if only 1 of these could activate, it would say that you cannot use more than 1 of these per turn. It wouldn't just say once per turn, it would say you cannot activate more than 1 Dundevimon ability during your turn, or something better phrased, but to the same effect. We do not have a ruling on this, and I rather suspect that when the ruling for Set 4 comes out, which will be a little while, we're right at the beginning of the reveal period, it's just over, I think it's a month and 3 days till the set releases. It's a little while away. But the point is, I do believe we will get a ruling. But as far as I'm concerned, right off the bat, I see no reason why this wouldn't stack. And I love that. because then it puts your opponent in a really awkward situation here. Because your opponent wants to remove your security, but you've got 3 Dundevimon on the field, so they know that getting rid of 1 of your security is going to get rid of 3 of their security. So what do? Do you wait until those Dundevimon are suspended and then try and take them out with your Digimon? You can, but do remember your opponent can just wait and build up their board and not put yours resting. Of course, against green decks, they've got so many things that can rest them, like, for instance, Flower Cannon, that it wouldn't be an issue. Or they can use Rust Tyrannomon to just attack you even when you're unsuspended. But you would have to have an answer along those lines, or things could get very, very awkward very, very quickly. And I really like this. I love the awkward situations this will put your opponent in, having to decide whether to attack now or whether to hold off and maybe try doing it later, but then giving you a bit of an advantage by holding off and doing it later. This is wonderful. And then, of course, like I said, your 12,000 power, this is more powerful than your average Digimon. So if you are even a level 6, so if you're waiting for your opponent to have a suspended Dundevimon so you can attack it, fine. But do remember that that is going to require you to have a 12,000 power Digimon or above. I love this skill. But there is also a second skill here as well. When it is destroyed, your opponent discards 2 cards from their hand. Now, the wording we've got from Jason, and he has been pretty gosh darn good at these translations so far, is your opponent discards 2 cards from hand, not discard 2 cards from your opponent's hand. That is to say, your opponent makes the choice, not you, as to which cards get discarded. But this is still hand disruption. We don't see much hand disruption in the Digimon trading card game. It's just not something that's out there very much. Well, now we have it. And I know it's a level 6, and I know it only activates when you get destroyed. I understand all of that. But the fact of the matter is, we have ways around it. For instance, we've already seen, and we have had confirmation, this is one of the few set free cards, which is actually going to be coming in our Booster 1.0. We've seen a lovely purple option card, Back for Revenge, which is a 2-cost option card that reads, one of your Digimon gains on deletion, play this card without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects on Digimon played with this effect don't activate for the turn. And this is a phenomenal combo with that card, because what you essentially do is you play this card, and then your opponent destroys it, loses 2 cards from their hand, but Back for Revenge brings it right back, and then they destroy it again and lose 2 more cards. And again, the combo here is beautiful. This is why I'm so in love with this card. You destroy it. Now, it is on your turn, because it only lasts until the end of the turn. So you would essentially play it, and then you would sacrifice this Digimon to mill 2 cards from your opponent, but you've played Back for Revenge, so you get it right back. And you're still punishing your opponent for taking security. And you're still there causing a threat for more hand disruption in the future. Of course, what you could do is basically sacrifice this Digimon, discard 2 cards, but you played Back for Revenge, and then do it again and get rid of another 2 cards. Although the fact that you're a 12,000 power, you know, you're going to have to attack the stack and find a 12,000 power or above Digimon. You're going to have to attack a 12,000 power or above resting Digimon. It's not always going to be that easy, but oh, it's going to be fun when it works. This is such a good combo with Back for Revenge. I absolutely adore it. Because it's working on your turn, it's going to be difficult because it's a level 6 and all of that, but still, this is fun, ladies and gentlemen. This is fun. Now, one more quick note before we finish about the first skill that we need to go back to for just a moment here. Please do remember that you are discarding your opponent's security. You are not performing a security check. So what we've got going on here is the same thing we've got with Gallantmon. Remember, Gallantmon's got that skill whereby when you attack, for every 10 cards in your opponent's trash, you discard 1 of their security. So you get rid of their security, they no longer have that security, but it's not a security check. So any tamer will not be put into play without paying the cost. It means that any security skills on option cards won't work. It means Digimon will not come out and destroy you. You are discarding a security. You are not performing a security check. That is pretty good. I love this card. I think this is a great card. You punish your opponent for getting rid of your security. You get rid of extra security without attacking. You can do a little bit of milling hand disruption. It's just fun. I think this is good. And clearly this is a card which is a bit of a marquee card for the Digimon trading card game, because it was dropped on the official website right when it appeared in the anime, or, you know, really genuine within an hour or so. Obviously, they are trying to push this Digimon. Obviously, they're going to make it good. But I tell you what, if this is what we're going to look forward to from Set 4, bring on Set 4. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear from all you lovely ladies and gentlemen, so go nuts in the comment section. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other stuff. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves until next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.